Welcome. Now let's skip the foreplay. Reality is fundamentally absurd. We experience the world through the structure of our consciousness. It is good to live as objectively in line with reality as possible, but understand that we can only perceive so much with such flawed meat suits. Trees don't literally exist. Trees are descriptions we as humans have put onto what we have roughly observed to be wooden trunks with roots and branches. Trees are a symbol, as are animals, logic, mathematics, language, etc., etc. These are symbols and categorizations so we can structure our lives. Because at the end of the day, every human needs some level of structure in order to navigate the world, even if it's a basic code of ethics. Again, reality is absurd. We must recognize we will not find truly objective meaning. That being said, we can only have meaning. You there. Yeah, you. I see you on that toilet, eating ice cream, watching this video through tears of emptiness, thinking your life has no meaning, but it does. Upon that porcelain throne which you sit is purpose. You have ice cream to eat, this video to watch, tears to shed, life to contemplate. All these things give your life meaning. Everything means something to some extent to every one of us. Your life arguably has too much meaning. It's overwhelming. So perhaps that's the true issue. Out of all these meaningful things, what does one latch on to and center their life around? If you can and desire to live without appeal, do so. Give it a shot. But most people find that absurdism alone is not enough. You can commit philosophical suicide by casting reason to the wind and subscribing to a fundamentalist ideology, but I don't think we need to sacrifice reason for ultimate meaning. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is very similar to Taoism, and Eastern Orthodoxy, and Hinduism. Because Taoism is a little more succinct, I will be focusing on that religion as a comparison. Stoicism and Taoism both focus on living in accordance with nature, or the Tao, the way of things. Whatever happens in life is how it's meant to be, and we need to be like water and roll with it if we're to live fulfilling lives. Life is fluid, ever-changing. You know the number one trait I've seen the most stable and happiest people possess? Versatility. And it's not something most people are born with. It's something to be built up and exercised. We may be limited in our perceptions, but we can at least glean some constants from reality, such as how it is ever-changing. This means that in order to live in accordance with reality, or nature, or the Tao, we must value and exercise our versatility. We must learn to ride the ups and downs of life. Neither let the highs get to our heads, nor the lows bring us to damnation. This concept is in multiple religions, guys, and it's valued for a reason. So if we are versatile, ebb and flow with nature, recognize the inherent absurdity of seeking meaning in a universe that will never spell it out for us, and we recognize that everything means something to us, how do we know how to act? Stoic philosophy really distills the essentials down for us with the four cardinal virtues. So that's justice, courage, wisdom, and temperance. Ha! See? I remembered. The Stoics believe that the most important thing in life is virtue and personal conduct. If you don't prioritize virtue, ethics, morality, etc., you have zero right to get upset over perceived injustices. You want to live in a just world, yes? That starts with you, being the kind of person you want to see more of. Don't worry, the world isn't going to copy you 100%, but this means understanding your values and how you live in alignment with them. One might claim that absurdism and stoicism are incompatible, but I say they go hand in hand. The perceived incompatibility comes from how absurdism is focused on rebelling against meaninglessness by acting as if it has meaning anyway, by being an authentic individual. Stoicism outlines things in a very structured way and prioritizes virtue. It also deals with concepts like logos and pneuma. Logos in particular seems very contradictory to absurdist philosophy. The thing is, I accept humans have no divinely ordained meaning. We don't need one. Reality is inherently absurd, and we will never truly understand it in all its facets. However, this does not mean we need to sacrifice our faculties of reason to recognize that we experience the world through symbols and meaning. We do not need to sacrifice our faculties of reason to recognize that there is indeed something holding this reality together. Doesn't matter if we're brains in vats, actually where we think we are, or if you and I are merely entertainment for otherworldly entities. We experience something causes that experience, and so there is an objective reality, which means constants do exist. I see the Logos as a recognition of those constants, or laws of reality that exist in spite of the absurd, as far as we can understand them. By recognizing these constants and living in accordance with them, this is how I live in accordance with this absurd reality. By focusing on virtue, conduct, versatility, and keeping my values consistent, I'm centered and can recognize my own constants, like we can recognize the constants of the Logos, God if you will. You could see this as a way of tapping into our personal Logos, or God energy I've heard it called. Mere absurdism can enslave one to their own impulses. But by recognizing and living in alignment with your values, you choose to serve something greater than your impulses, because recognizing the importance of virtue is also recognizing other people in your life. You can't go wrong with the 4 cardinal virtues. They're simple and effective. Seriously, if you don't already subscribe to religion, just focus on acting wisely, justly, with courage and restraint. You'll eventually find peace wherever you're meant to be. You find your purpose through living your values. If you wait for purpose to find you, you're going to be miserable. You want to see a miracle? You gotta be the miracle. Personally, I learned to roll with the punches of life. I learned a lot about myself and what I truly value. This inspired me to take up art again and get started on a novel, and a YouTube channel. Are these my gospel to the world or something? Kinda. These things are currently my purpose, and I'm feeling great. Do I expect these things to pan out perfectly as I would like? Hell no. The property I live on could collapse into the sea. My novel progress could get deleted by techno-demons. I could finish my novel, only to have several readers, never exceed 100 subscribers on YouTube, and never find work as an illustrator. I could become homeless. But you know what? That's life, and what will be, however it's meant to be. If I'm destined to be a hobo, I'll be the best damned hobo I can be. Maybe I'll end up ditching everything altogether and homestead full-time. That'll be my purpose. Maybe I'll run away to Costa Rica and live on a boat for the rest of my days like Father Goose. That'd be my purpose. I could die tomorrow. Being dead would be my purpose, and by God would I make a pretty corpse. Ultimate purpose is in the present. There is no lifelong purpose spelled out for man, though I would argue the closest thing is to be stewards of our little corner of the earth. Reality is ever in a state of flux, as is our purpose. Learn to recognize that. Be like water. In summary, it's good to recognize the absurd nature of reality, but ultimately all roads lead to meaning of some kind. And Stoicism is a perfect, at least for me, broad, universal framework to navigate through life. Remember, there's a wide range of opinions within any belief system. Chrysippus practiced Stoicism differently from Marcus Aurelius, who practiced differently from Epictetus, but the core beliefs are pretty constant. Just do your homework, and avoid broicism. Honestly, you don't even have to bother with labels like absurdism and stoicism because it's the principles that matter. What lines up with reality? That's all I have for today. Be sure to smash that dislike button and leave your cruelest comment down below. Farewell.